Hey folks, welcome back. This is Lucid, and we're jumping back into our game with Lanka. Yeah, it's turn 59. So we have a message from Macon. Sorry about war. So it's a good thing we did all that preparation. And we get a long message back from Ubar. I had sent him some long diplo the turn before. I hope I read it to you. There's a good chance I didn't in the previous episode. But basically, I told him why I thought we should be fighting Macon together, because he has way more income than me or him, probably combined, when you factor in the gym or the income he's getting from alchemizing. Incidentally, the turn before your message, I had cast a Shaic record on both you and Macon, for the very reason I'd rather not try and guess how other people are doing or rely on intel from others. Of course, we're not going to be able to account for the 4K added income per turn that the score graphs don't show. But aside from that, the basic breakdown is I have the most provinces, me, Lucid, the most forts, the most score graph income, and of course a ludicrous army size. Macon has the highest gym income, but I have a slight lead in research. To put it plainly, I don't see a need for naps with anyone at this point, since we'll just try to take thrones and defend our own respectively as best we're able. But the simplest breakdown of geopolitical situation is that Macon is the logical sandwich target for the both of us, and it's not super easy for me to fight you. But as soon as I help you kill him, I push closer to getting the thrones. Oh, you push closer to getting the thrones you need to win, while if I do nothing while the two of you fight, then Macon may get the thrones he needs to win. So while I take Arco's last two forts, I'm waiting and watching, just as you're taking what you can from Ctis while you're waiting and watching. But as a friendly, helpful tip, the chicken-headed Macon god has been hanging out on the throne on 164. There's also a golem in that province. So, I get a message in Discord from the Ubar player this turn too, and because Macon attacks, and he saw that, he said he was probably going to attack Macon. So, on one hand, that's good for me because obviously having help in a war against somebody that's probably a lot richer than me is nice. And Macon, given, they haven't been a good nation all game, but they're a pretty good nation now because, the patch has gone through. So, anyway, it will be appreciated. We probably can use the help. I think we found some sites. I can't remember. Yeah, Wellspring of Secrets, which is pretty good. And we found an enchanted tower, which is pretty good. Okay. And then Macon attacks us. So, let's take a look. So here he attacks with cavemen, just hits PD. Here Ctis breaks out. Here he attacks with cavemen and they all die. Here he attacks... This actually is going to be relevant for later. He's got his friendship hat. Idiot here, I think. Does he not? I thought he did. Yeah, here he is. So shock resistance, pretty good protection. Friendship hat, which gives you all sorts of good buffs. Lost an eye. And then he's got his pin gear. So anyway. Kills these trolls, manages to recruit one of them. That is right here. He attacks me with a Scrotty because, of course, he does, as Macon. Honestly, getting that friendship hat on turn 14 is stupid. That's really dumb. You didn't see what happened here. We hit him with life for a life, and he ran. Which is unfortunate, because I would have liked to have killed him. And he did end up successfully retreating, which sucks. Here we have a huge mistake. So this fort, I had gone and switched... I think what happened is I switched out an item on a commander, and it made him siege instead of storm. Like, it reset his commands, and so I didn't bring the army inside. And I'll be honest, I didn't even watch this the first time. It's too painful to watch. Like, when you click on it and you see your army's not there, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you realize you moved an item or something, and it's reset the command. I think that's what happened. It's also possible I just completely fat-fingered it. and didn't check. But these are the sort of mistakes that are actually reasonably easy to make. So these guys land. That's not good. With Blood Rain and Wailing Winds off, we're actually able to route a fair amount of commanders before all this starts, but this was obviously a fucking disaster. This is such an easy win, too. So that's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Ctis took a screenshot of this from his side and put it in the game chat, which it's a little rude, to be honest, because he's done it literally every single fight we've had that I've lost anything. Which, like, it's okay to do that sometimes. I mean, it's okay to do it all the time, but it is rude. Like, he's kind of ignoring the personal dimension, which is, like, normally, in my opinion, if you're going to post screenshots of, like, what people have lost, you do it because you're like, well, you know, it's rude, but it's worth it. But anyway, he's just doing it every single time, which is kind of not cool. But whatever. In his screenshot, it showed all the gear he captured, because all these guys were fully kitted out, so that sucks. The good thing is he's lost his Dragon Chief, Draconian Chiefs. He's lost a Lore Master. He's lost 2 Reborns, 4 Shaman. He still has his Wraith Lords, a White Mage. But there's not much home. So it's going to be a lot easier this time. Anyway. And that's obviously very painful. And of course, Macon is taking stuff with absolutely 0 resistance. They're just giving it to him for free. Which is basically how Macon's gotten a lot of his land. And that's not fair. I mean, but this was not much of a fight with Helheim. And Femoria kind of put up a fight. No, they probably did. But they also went and attacked into Heat 3, which not very strong. Not Femoria, Niflheim. Not very strong or smart as Niflheim. So we've been attacked. We correctly anticipated an attack here at least, but we lost ground here. Here he's got some E4s and some Peltasts, which, you know, is a little annoying. But what are we going to do? Yeah. I don't have much scouting information in terms of, like, what's over here in these provinces. So I'm not actually sure. It's not a wizard tower, is it? No. Anyway, the basic plan, though, is I want to reinforce this with more life for life casters. Or no, more blood slaves. So we've got Home Slice coming in with blood slaves. I don't really have enough... This kind of depleted my blood slave bank here, this fight, because they did end up using some of it to kill these dudes. So that's a little annoying. The other thing I'm worried about here is he's got this army, and it looks like Faustbomb, but it's actually a lot of Gigante Hoplites. This is probably his scariest army on the map. And it's right here, and I'm worried he's going to come down here and take this and this. And if he does that, and he takes this... Right now he's at 8. This will give him 10. This would give him 12, and then if I lose this throne 13, then he wins. So, or if he just takes one off of these guys. Or underwater. I have no idea what the situation on some of these turns is. So, anyway, we're going to do our part and try not to give him this one. But I'm actually really worried he's going to attack here. So I've got a ton of people actually patrolling. With a bunch of stuff going off. A bunch of life for lives if he sends a thug in. Storm and Wrathful Skies and Rigor Mortis and all this shit. So basically we've got that going on here. Here is my army who forgot to come inside on this fort battle. So fuck my life. We might have a chance of going inside this turn, but we're not going to risk it. Instead, we're just going to reinforce with more mages. I've got mages here and mages here. We're pulling them in, and then they're going to hopefully make a real army, and then we'll go inside. So that was horrible. And this, I mean, really at a time, the thing was too, I'm going through this turn kind of quickly and casting, or like, you know, sharing it with you, but at the time, I spent a ton of time thinking about this turn. And this particular battle, I scripted so, like, I spent a ton of time thinking about it. It was not casual. And and like thinking how many life for life casters I need to bring, how many gems I needed to have so I didn't get gem baited. I thought about all these things, and then I forgot to send this guy inside the fort. Like, fuck my life. You know, it's like the one thing you don't think about. I don't think there's much inside here. We're going to go ahead and storm this. We're storming this fort with just this idiot who's basically a thug who's going to bless up these guys and then go fly and attack. And then these guys are going to get buffed up and run in and attack, and it should be fine. We've got major reinforcements coming in. We're going to go put this fort under siege. Basically, I've got somebody coming in to do fog warriors in mass flight. A bunch of undead, which solves a lot of problems. So that's the play here. He's got a fair amount of skelly spam, but if we get fog warriors down, none of this is going to matter. Will not matter much. I mean, he can still dust it and stuff, but we'll be fine. So that's basically the play. We're getting blood hunting more and more set up. Like here you can see we've got deep blood hunting on a lot of provinces. We're getting, I think, about like 250 a turn, 300 a turn maybe. So we're getting a lot of blood slaves. But yeah, we're doing a major defense here, anticipating a possible attack. And hopefully we take Ctis. Ideally for me, the way that I'm hoping the game plays out is I play defensive versus Macon, kill some of the stuff he's using to attack, maybe get some raiding going on. And meanwhile, Ubar starts to fight. Once Ubar starts to fight, I might consider going on the offense. But right now, I need to conquer Ctis, get this land fully locked down under my control. Get mage production going over here, because that's going to be what really drives, me to have a powerful presence on the map over here. I should also turn on sacred recruitment in this part just to add a little bit more power. I can also, once this area is locked down, my mages who are out fighting, they can start summoning more demons. Really amp up my power on this portion of the map. Potentially, I can also look at going for a throne win. The way I would do that is I would Citadel of Power this underwater, and I would jump on top of this. And if I take both of these, and I Magic Phase Fort them, then I think I win. This one's going to be tricky, because I could probably take it, actually. I would need, like, an underwater army, which actually is kind of trivial. I'd need an underwater army. Fog Warriors will go a long way with Undead Chaff. Mainly of Slave Troopers, which kind of sucks. Shambler Thralls, which kind of wreck Undead. And then, yeah, if I did Mass Protection and Fog Warriors and Rigor Mortis, I would definitely win this. And then I would just need to have enough Blood Slaves to do Citadel of Power, 3 red seconds. And then this one I could do Wizard Tower 2 or 3 red seconds on. These things are looking more appealing now. Anyway, this is not my current turn. I've got one more turn to get to. I think to do it, and let's look at what it would take to do it real quick since we're talking about it. 3 red seconds is kind of high blood. You need blood 5. So basically I would need a Dakini with 2 boosters, which I think I kind of have. And then I would need my god. And then we'd need, really just 1 turn of slaves to get 2 forts down. Shouldn't actually be that hard. And then I have Mandahas who can claim thrones too, so I just make sure Mandahas in each army. And then if I get this, I would win, I think. Well, I think we get that, and then we'll think about it. The problem if I do this, then literally everybody's going to attack me. So it would need to be pretty certain, I think, for it to be worth it. Because we're also entering a phase where it looks like Ubar is going to be on my side. If Ubar was attacking me, I think I would look for the throne rush. because you're weighing the odds. Like, what are the odds of the Throne Rush working out? Which it's hard to anticipate, right? But I weigh the odds at like maybe 70%. Versus what are the odds of me winning if I don't Throne Rush? Right? Which or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like 50% for the Throne Rush. And what are the odds of me winning if I don't Throne Rush? I feel like those are higher. Like, I don't know, 75%? I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. The other thing is late game Lanka is kind of fun, so I kind of want to play it. So that's probably also slightly messing with my opinion. Anyway, main name of the game, get these Ctis forts. Hopefully have a semi-favorable border over here. Don't get my blood economy rated. And yeah, we're also blood hunting here too, so this will be a nice little blood hunting province if we can hold it. And with that, we're going to go ahead and go to my current turn, current turn 60. Turn 60. Actually, I've been like delaying doing this turn. You guessed right, although I'll probably lose the war due to letting Ubar grow. Bad decision on my part. Well, I think he just spawned in the middle of a map. There's not much he could do. So Macon comes over here to gym bait me, which is rude. Yeah. What did he do? He killed some Arcata scouts and some Ganas. But he also gym baited me, which is fine. And then he sends a white mage in. This is not something that Macon should be able to do. It's really a function of him getting a friendship hat on turn 10. Or 12 or whenever it was. So this is a Neefel Jarl that rolled a heroic toughness trait. Got stolen by... I mean, it's kind of a cool story. Got stolen by Macon. And now is being used against me. With a bajillion... And it's been twice born, right? So, with a bajillion HP. The gear setup is Thunder Whip, most likely just for shock resistance. This actually is a really shitty item to put in his main spot, because it's cap damage. So basically, if something's as big as him, he can't really even hurt it. He just sits there and like stares at him, or slaps it. So this is really, really bad. This would be like maybe okay versus Chaff, but he has Boots of the Behemoth, so he's just going to trample Chaff. Has a lot of MR, has a lot of regen, and then is, of course, fatigue neutral even with this heavy full black steel plate. So, anyway, but, you know, it's essentially free for him. I mean, he probably, when he charmed it, he got whatever gear was on it. Presumably this was maybe even some of it. So yeah, and the Invincible King with no flaws, the White Mage. Fuck my life. Now, we get a Sabbath off, but I don't think... Yeah, we don't have the slaves. Our slave delivery hadn't arrived yet. And it's kind of funny, because sometimes I was Cloud Trapezing in slaves to make sure if he magic phased attacked, we'd be there, but for whatever reason, I didn't do it on this one. Now, that said, this guy regenerates so much. I would have to hit him with a lot of life. Life for life actually is not a great way of dealing with this guy. So yeah, we'll go through his script again real quick, because this is going to be a pretty central part of doing this turn. It's one I've really been struggling with. I want to kill this guy. I don't like that he has things that are immune to life life for life. So the script he does is Quicken Self, Flight, Liquid Body, and then Attack. Right. We found some magic sites. We found a Temple of Darkness, which is kind of cool. We can have a Death Mage enter to summon a Shade or Shadow Warrior. Shades are pretty good. Unfortunately, it's right on the front, so I don't know if we're really going to do that. We found another magic site, the Endless Forest, which also is a good site. It's one astral, one nature. All very good news. Coming down, there's a few more attacks. He attacks with some Bakemonos, gets completely bamboozled. He attacked here onto this force. And let's look at 2 if we can kill this golem, because there's a good chance this golem comes back. He's got a Ring of Returning. It's very hard to kill Ring of Returning golems. The go-to way to do it, I think, is you get a Midget Masher, and you get somebody up to size 6, and then you pound them into the ground with it. Which, I don't have a Midget Masher, but I should probably make one. I'll add that to my to-do list. Where's a Midget Masher? One of these things. And I think my Mandahas are big enough they could probably do it. There's a counter to that, though. If you have a golem, you put a Crown of the Titan on it, and then it no longer works. And then they're basically impossible to kill. Not completely, but I mean, they're essentially impossible to kill. Because you just have to send them home. That's kind of how that works. That's kind of how that works. Where's my Mandaha? I can't remember if they're 4 or 5. I think they're 5, yeah. So with the Crown of Titans, this guy and a Midget Masher, or just if he has somebody casting Enlarge on him, because Enlarge will work on size 5s, that will get him where he can one-hit kill a golem, especially with his strength. So yeah, that would be kind of cool. Not for this turn, though, but it is definitely something to consider using those precious earth gems for. And I do have nature, too, so doing Enlarge is kind of trivial. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. Did we go through all the things? He attacked with some cavemen, took it. We stormed this fort. There was nothing inside, really. And we got some gold. Okay, so that's basically it for this turn. So now the question, what the hell do we do? The other thing is he's moved, this is presumably the army that was here last turn. He's moved them up here, and it's mostly Gigante Hoplites with some cavemen. This is definitely going to be capable of one turn popping forts. He has a couple moves. He could move here, but I think it's more likely that he moves here. Problem moving here is there's not a ton of supply. So anyway, that's kind of a risk. He's got a fort coming up here. I think I do want to keep this fort from going up just so I can block. It keeps throne rushing open to me as an option. Fortunately, even though I lost this battle here versus this white mage, I also had these guys come in behind and they got killed, and I lost the blood slave, so kind of a loss on top of a loss. But fortunately in this combat, all my mages, which are what I mostly care about, they managed to escape for the most part. So what I want to do is I have some objectives for this turn. One is I really want to kill this guy. And you may say, how would I do it? And my answer primarily is this dude. This dude with a firebrand and a flesh eater and a horned hat. This is a lot of outgoing damage. And anyway, he'll murder this guy. This is, I should have named him, but he's got heroic toughness also. And he's my prophet. So he's going to have a shit ton of dominion. I mean, a shit ton of hit points. And this is also friendly dominion. So he's going to regen at those higher hit points too. He also has better stats, I would say, in general. And especially once he's mist-formed, he's not going to give a fuck about getting trampled. He's just going to completely tear this dude apart. We also started to get turmoil. So he'll be at least in turmoil 1. Do I have unrest here? I'm not sure. There's probably some unrest too, so it's probably at least chaos power 2. Now, of course, there's things he could do, like a switcheroo on weapons on his guy, and then it would kill this dude pretty good. But I think with how things are, we should absolutely wreck him too. Especially, like, once he goes Berserk too. This is like Berserker 3. So once he goes Berserk, these are all going to go up another 3 points. But the math is pretty tricky, right? Because this guy's going to be regening 30 a turn. So I have to do 30 a turn just to kill him. Just to get through regen. The problem with that is getting through 30 regen is tough when he has liquid body up. So really I have to do like 60 damage a turn, right? Which is a lot. But fortunately you can see these numbers add up to more than 60. If we look at this guy's stats, he's got 24 protection. That's not going to change. So the real question, like how much damage we're going to do, is going to be about, let's add 3 to these for Berserk, because we're going to assume we go Berserk. So it's going to be 50 plus 56 plus 42, right? But anyway, we want to subtract from it, let's say like 25. So this is going to be 25 damage. This is going to be, but this is AP, right? So this we'd only subtract like 12 from. So this actually is going to be closer to 30 damage. This is going to be closer to like 30 damage, right? And this is going to be closer to like 20 damage. So we're well above the 30 damage per round to kill. Yeah. So we should tear him apart. What I have found, because I've gone and tested it too, is he's moved in cavemen behind him. What generally happens in the tests is I kill all the cavemen and then the white, because these guys have a lot of HP, and then the white mage runs. Or if I start hitting the white mage, especially after the cavemen are gone, he runs. So while we can kill him, killing him is not sufficient, because we need to kill him dead. We don't want to scare him off and have him retreat in a wounded state. So what I'm going to have to do, if you magic phase a place, he'll retreat in the magic phase, which means in the magic phase I also have to cut off both his retreat routes, which are here and here. The tricky part about this is a fort, right? We know what's here at least. This is just some cavemen. This should be reasonably easy to deal with. This is a fort. It could have a huge PD dump. It could have an army, an indiscriminate number of mages, etc., etc., etc. There's also one more problem. The other problem is this. The other problem is this guy has a heroic trait, heroic toughness. And what that means is he can do Ritual of Rebirth and bring this guy back as a huge fucking divine mummy. So in some ways I'm only going to be kicking this can down the road. What I would really like to do, and this I have not been able to figure out a way to do, what I would really like to be able to do is to get him cursed, which I can do with Spirit Curse. That part's easy, and I can do that in the magic phase. I'd like to get him cursed and then kill him in combat, which is very hard because he casts flight and he can run. So what I tested was like casting Storm. But the problem is he has Boots of Trampling and he's quickened, right? So he just runs away. It's really, really, really hard to stop this guy from running. So what I have decided, as painful as it may be, is I'm not going to be able to get this guy afflicted to hell. Instead, all I'm going to be able to do is to come in here, make him run, and then send him to the grave. I don't know if the mummy form is better or worse than the tart form. I can't remember. We'll deal with it when we get there, and it's also possible he doesn't have it researched yet, which would give me some number of turns without having to worry about this idiot. And during which time I can get more anti-undead tech, like having a Holy Scourge or something. At which point, it actually does become kind of hard to retreat, even with 300 HP. Because with the Holy Scourge and quickness, we can kill him. And the other thing I kind of need is Axe of Hate. Maybe like Axe of Hate and Herald Lance would do really well. So I probably need to make some of that gear too this turn. But without having it, I think we're just going to have to make do. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. First, we're going to magic phase. This is definitely going to be my best chance at killing this guy. And he should be basically unkillable. He's just going to do Blessing, Mist Form, Holy Avenger, attack spells. There's not going to be anything here that is going to have... I mean, this is a barb province, so we could have barbs. Anyway, there's nothing here that's going to have piercing damage, so there's no need to do skeletal body. It is a Highlands province, which is not a cave. So we're not going to get the dark vision. Well, he has dark vision too, but versus the caveman, it could kind of help. But yeah, we're going to be regenning a lot of turn. We're going to be regenning 18 or 19 a turn, which is a lot. But if Mist Form gets popped, we could be in trouble. And the barbs are going to hit me a lot. I'm not really that worried about MR. Yeah, probably is the best thing. I don't know if there's... I'm a little worried this guy could die. The other thing I kind of wanted to do, and I may do it, is send in Amandaha with him. Anyway, this is going to be a script for now. He's going to be at the back. We'll put him back. I'll put the back +1 forward. That way, if I want to, I can send Amandaha in behind him. The other things I've got to do are we've got to... Well, we've got to come over here and raid both of these in the magic phase. I've got Amandaha here. I've got this guy here. What I'm currently thinking is we're going to send these two idiots. Heaven help them. Well, this guy may need to go here and help. So, okay, right now we're going to soft commit this guy to coming in and helping. He's basically going to do Divine Blessing. Well... Sure, why not? Divine Blessing. I wonder what the distance of Spirit Curse is. 50. If we do kill him, that would be nice. It's possible I maim him or something. So actually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do Mist Form. And then we're going to do Spirit Curse. And then we're going to do... Invulnerability. And then we're going to do Divine Blessing. And then we're just going to cast spells. Or not that, right? Let's do Advancing Cast Spell. Yeah, we'll do Horde Skeletons Advanced Cast Spells. So anyway, we put him here. We're going to have him Cloud Trapeze on top. Now, I may have to switch who's doing what, but I'm also going to scoot this guy now to be all the way at the very front. That way the barbs will hit him and not my other dude. Which, honestly... not the barbs. Yeah, these guys are going to be significantly weaker. They're going to be significantly weaker fighting in darkness from the Amandaha. Cavemen do have half dark vision, if I recall. But the stat penalty will be nice still. You know, it may be better to have this guy in front, actually. And he doesn't really need gems. So maybe we do that. Mist Form, Spirit Curse. Yeah, this guy's holy too. There's no reason he wouldn't be able to buff this guy. We'll put him back one tile. So they're both Cloud Trapezing in here. And this should be able... Let's double check the scripts, make sure I didn't fuck anything up. Mist Form, Spirit Curse. He's going to need a death chip. Invulnerability, Divine Blessing, Horde of Skeletons. Okay. Now we just have to cut off the retreat routes. And I'm pretty confident this will win. Now to cut off the retreat routes, we're going to... This is the province I'm worried about. This is the one that should be relatively easy. And let's see who we've got. We've got this guy. The problem is, too, I'm going to be depleting the reserves I have on this side of the map for, like, let's say defending that province. And I don't think anybody can get there from my capital. Ooh, this one's actually close. So this one we can hit from my capital, which I'm going to do. I'm going to take advantage of that because, well, like I said, I don't have a ton of stuff on that portion of the map. There's major weaknesses, though, I think, in the kit I have versus cavemen. If we'll look at the stats for cavemen real quick. They've got 50 dark vision. They have an okay amount of HP. They hit like a freight train. Their MR is not great, though. So Vine Shields are pretty effective against them. But they have high strength, which means the way Vine Shields work is the lower your MR, the more likely you are to get entangled. The higher your strength, the more likely you are to break free. So they tend to kind of get entangled and then unentangled pretty quickly. But they're also not going to hit terribly often, since they're going to be attack. Oh no, but okay, that's only for here. In this province, it's not in the darkness, so it's worth factoring in. Cavemen are kind of motherfuckers. I kind of need to poach some more gear. You know, repel would work really well here if I had it. And I don't know, I don't really want to do all the micro and stuff on this turn with you guys here, but this is kind of what a lot of this turn is going to be. Coming through here looking for the right item. So I don't have enough. I think I've been focusing a little too hard on Amulets of the Dead, to be honest. We're going to have to, I think this turn we're going to turn back on some more thug gear production. Because I don't have much, guys. Like, that's the God's honest truth. This guy, I mean, he has a pretty good kit. Let's see if he can make it over there. You never know on this map, because all the teleporting things end up making you close. So yeah, this is actually close, just because it's near to a candle, I think. And wait, this one is not close, right? This one's not. How are these so far away? Aren't these connected? Wait, 6 and 4? Oh, I need to hit this one, not that one. Fuck. Oh, but I think he can still hit this one. I didn't see that one. Oh, that one is a cave. So that's actually gonna slightly favor me. Okay, so Nether Mines is where we've got to go. Blessing. Well, I think I have this saved. Yeah. Well, let's do this in order of priority here. You know, an Amulet of Giants would be huge. I've really got to shift up. We really have to improve our thug gear, and I don't really need this Amulet of Anti-Magic. Really is not ideal. I think, like this one, I definitely want to have a Mandaha come in. Thing is, I'm doing it blind, which is really risky. Okay, this guy's got good armor at least. did I see here? I thought I just saw... Oh, this guy has good gear, but he can't magic phase. Oh, this guy has good gear. Okay. So I think this guy can repel. Okay, so this is by far and away going to be my toughest dude. By far and away. So I think where I want him to come in and clear this out in conjunction with Amandaha. So he's going to jump in. He's going to be right here. He's going to do Blessing, Mist Form. He's actually going to do Mirror Image. He's going to do Reinvigoration, and then he's going to do Holy Avenger. Then attack. I'll just give him one. Okay. And with 20 defense with the Vine Shield and 21 attack, that's going to be a whole lot of repelling. And honestly, I should probably swap some of the gear out here. Like, if this is going to be my really hard-hitting dude, we should probably give him optimal repel gear, like really jack up his defense. Okay. So anyway, he's pretty set for taking this, but if there's something scary, like a thug there, we could be in trouble, and that's why I want him to also have some undead support. Which, all this is risky because I don't have scouts over here. So that's the other thing I have to do is get... I mean, this was my land. I didn't have scouts in my own land, but... So another thing I've got to do is go get some scouts over there. Ooh, Boots of the Messenger. That could be useful in someone. Now, I think at home I may have, though I may not have. Okay, I don't. Can we make it all the way over here? I forget where my other Manda... I think that might be my only Mandaha. So, I mean, the other option... Well, that's not a good option. I mean, there's a pretty good chance this will work. The problem... He is doing skeletal body, right? Oh no, he definitely needs skeletal body. Fuck. And in fact, I think it's more important than mirror image. We'll do mirror image at the end. Skeletal body is going to be really, really, really important if he's got hoplites here who have the magic damage to poke through the my mist form. But I mean, if he anticipates this, there's so many ways he could counter it, and this is a major investment. So like, if I lose this guy, we're gonna be on the downhill struggle, or on the downhill slope. If I start losing it, like, this is a high commitment attack for me. The lower commitment stuff, like attacking this province. I think we do that. I'm trying to think who we use. I mean, I think it kind of has to be this guy, to be honest. Which really is going to limit my ability to have a major conflict here. Since I can't do any... well, no, I can. She can do it. What kind of PD do I have here? Shitty PD. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I mean, there's a decent chance also that there's actually not that, like, this province right here may actually be rather easy. The problem is if one of these doesn't work, then it's, the whole thing's a little bit buggered. Because he'll have a province to retreat to. So really I need it to work like 3 for 3, which those are not the kind of things you want, where you have to have multiple things that go your way for it to work out. But having this one guy who's going to be able to come in and fuck up my blood economy because he's immune to life for life is also really, 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 really worth taking care of. Oh wait, this is my guy going in, and he's making it into the Nether Mines. Okay. He's got this scale mail something. I don't have a hat, which I'm not excited about. That's the other thing I need to make is hats. We've got a lot of thug gear we need to make, guys. Like, not having hats actually is a kind of big deal. Oh, yeah. Okay. This actually is not a very big... Well, it's a little bit of an upgrade. So he's going in Nether Mines. Not mist form. A skeletal body attack. Closest. Okay, I'm mostly okay with this. I mean, it's not ideal. He's got this, which is going to give him extra fatigue. We'll go ahead and do this. Give him Boots of the Messenger. So, okay, we've got both of these province getting hit. We've got this getting hit. Pretty good chance we're successful. And I also, the things that I think I have going for me is I haven't been aggressive yet. I haven't been magic phasing him yet. So if he, like, he would have to be patrolling this fort anticipating a magic phase attack. Which is something I've been doing. But I also haven't been attacking him. I've been only defending. So it's hard to say what he's going to do. I also need to move an army in here, which I guess we'll go ahead and do. To properly support my idiots who, you know, had to all of a sudden leave. All right. Forward men. So yeah, this is going to be basically the same kind of script. These guys get at least 5. These guys get not that many, just 1. And then we'll put a couple more on these. So, okay. And then they're going to come over here and hopefully blood hunt. If this doesn't work, if we have catastrophic failure, it's going to be even worse because I'm probably going to lose some of them. Now, the situation, what does this let me in? This guy still has not been used. So we potentially, assuming he moves a big army here, I can actually do a pretty sophisticated defense. And for me, a sophisticated defense is going to be a bunch of my sacreds with Wrathful Skies going up and some Skelly Spam Chaff. And all the... We actually are going to do a major defense here, I think. So... that's the other thing I have to script this turn is... Oh, fuck. These guys can't make it. Motherfucker. Oh, I can only do it in the heat, and these are cold right now. Why can't I go across this mountain pass? Well, I wonder if these guys can make it. No, they can't. Quite well organized. I don't think I have what it takes to muster a defense here. Is basically the long and the short of it. This is actually a kind of nice province. You know, if I took it, he would only have one move, really, which is here or into here. I think I have to give this to him. Yeah, so we're going to give him this. I'm probably going to do a retreat out of here. But I think I'm going to position an army over here to come potentially take it back from him. The problem is he has a ton of money, so he could do 100 PD dump pretty casually. I mean, I could not do that. The other thing is I could just, if I take this throne, which I've got this huge army here, if he moves this way, and I move this way, and I get this throne, then I think he loses, right? Because I'd get this one, and then I just take this one or this one, and I win. But that's also going to trigger Ubar to attack me. So I'm not sure. I think that what we're going to do, we're probably going to do some low commitment raids out of here. Take these two. Make him have to defend some of his stuff. We're already taking this stuff back. And the final thing for this turn is we've got to actually storm this fort. We have got to storm the fort. So storm, everybody's storming. The formation still is oddly, correct. Sabbath Master, let's see how the gems we're doing. Okay, we're always going to be able to cast this because I've got a temporary gem item, thank God. The only thing that would stop it is if I run out of blood slaves. Life for a life. Communion Master anti-magic. Sabbath Slave. So let's take a look. We've got one. There's a lot of masters. 1, 2, 3. We probably need another slave. Yeah, and we've got this guy here too. So I think what we'll do, this guy, what is he scripted to cast? Apparently I haven't scripted him. We're going to do turn 1 Divine Blessing. Then we're going to do... He doesn't have much. He's got some like Draconians. We're already going to have Darkness. The most important thing, honestly, is Fog Warriors. Which, if you look at it, like the gems aren't necessarily on the right people. We need some life for a life, but not much. Storm is maybe a little nice to keep the Draconians from jumping around. So this guy's fine. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take one more person. See, I'm wondering if I have enough blood slaves is what I'm really wondering about. We have enough nature gems. Okay. We kind of do have a lot of blood slaves, though. Okay, we need one more slave, and I think it's going to be you. That's basically the plan. So now we've got 4 slaves. We're going to be doing anti-magic. We've got 1 life-to-life spammer. God, I can't wait to kill that golem. I need to make that golem gear. Where is our... You're the slave, right? Let's put all you guys a little closer together. Okay. Wrathful Skies at the end is fine. Life for life. We got 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, we need to script this guy probably. We're gonna have storm going up, so we can do storm power. Who's doing fog warriors? That's the big question. Honestly, it should be you. Okay. Now, did somebody here have a bunch of air gems and then not too much to use it on? Who here has air gems they're not using? You actually have nothing that you need air gems for. So we're going to go ahead and give them to her. I'll give him 2 in case he gets assassinated. He can summon an elemental or something. Feeling actually okay about this. If the golem comes... Combat speed 7, combat speed 8, combat speed 10. Combat speed 12. I should put these on attack rear and put these guys... I think these are my closest thing I have to cavalry. Yeah, I feel pretty good. We're not doing mass protection, which might be a good thing to do. But I think with Fog Warriors, it's not really going to matter. Anyway. We're also going to be moving over this way. I don't know what Macon has here, so potentially he could surprise me with something nasty. So I need to make sure we script this correctly. Let's look at what we've got. I'm pretty sure if we're doing this... First of all, I've got a lot of undead reinforcements coming in, which means this army really needs to be set up to do Fog Warriors. Like so. So I think we're just going to make these guys Sabbath slaves. And he'll be a Sabbath Master, and then do Divine Blessing, and then Fog Warriors, and then Life for a Life. Something like this. Hold an attack closest, hold an attack, okay. And we don't actually need them near each other anymore. The other thing I do need to do is build a temple here, but I don't have either the money nor the available free priest. So I'm moving Home Slice in over here, who's going to come build a temple next turn, presumably. I think we're actually going to switch. I need money, so I think we're going to switch to the shitty priests. shitty priests again. We've got enough of these guys. And we've got a lot of undead that we have to mobilize to the war front. Something like this. I am okay. We're also, where did I schedule all this? Thumb 5. Do I really? I think I kind of do want to get Evocation 7. When I get Evocation 7, he really can't bring armies out in the open anymore. Alt 8's going to be really good for fighting armies, but 7's going to be, Evocation 7's going to be better for cheesing them because I can Wind of Death. Oh, can I Wind of Death? Okay, we need to move these guys over here. I'm not going to do all the micro, so here, once I'm hitting the next key, that means we're about done with the episode. So yeah, we've got these idiots coming over here. We're storming this fort. We've kind of done the script for that. Hopefully Ubar attacks Macon, not me. If Ubar attacks me, I might be in for a very rough ride. Oh, I should probably move this guy over here too. Let's move him over here too, and let's have him Sabbath Master. And the nice thing about having this guy Sabbath Master is he can do personal regen. It's going to make the communion just super abusable. And then we can do things like with him, just like make skeletons and stuff. And then advancing cast spells, he'll be hopped up to death 3. So not able to do drain life, but he can do charm and stuff if I get it researched, which I can't. Fuck. Anyway, I think that's about it for now, guys. We're going to do our best at this turn, but you can see the game's getting a little crazy, so I will see you in the next round.